a grandma walked into Borgata and worked 3 hours and 10 minutes. So if I'm on that table with that grandma from Borgata for 3 hours and 10 minutes, I have enough to buy a house at that point. There's no problem. There's a house and a car to fit in the garage, or 2 cars to fit in the garage. So the throw, those 3 Vegas rolls, 2 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours and 30, 2 hours and 20, the 3 longest rolls in Vegas history, are all from guys from the same place in America. Where would that be? You already know, but Hawaii. They're all Hawaiian people. Who's been to Hawaii here? Out of everyone. Okay, for those of you who haven't been to Hawaii, the energy is very relaxed. There's no rush to get anywhere. Okay, they always talk about, hey brother, you on island time now. Island time means easy, casual time. So, imbue all of your throws of the dice with that ease of a Hawaiian. Just remember that, because it is truly, truly the only game that has an energy component to it. And if your energy is sort of haphazard and nutty and not relaxed and smooth, you won't roll for a long time. And I also have set rules of that come into place that are always there. And number 1, I never gamble hungry. I never gamble mad. If I had an argument with a spouse or somebody, I don't get angry, hungry, drunk. I order green tea and water at the table. I never order an alcoholic drink. I mean, some people, they need a little something to take an edge off, and so I'm okay with that. If you guys order that just to take an edge off, that's fine. But, because sometimes alcohol can relax you, right? But typically I want to have all my senses about me when I'm throwing the dice. And again, dice typically weigh, I don't know, not much, right? And a lot of the first timers that throw dice at a table, they throw so hard, it flies off of the table, right? But the funny thing is, if you throw too light and it doesn't hit the back wall, you get crap from the pit boss. They're like, you gotta hit the end of the table, you gotta hit the back wall, you gotta hit the back wall. There's a famous story about some gambler that was playing craps. He kept getting yelled because he had a nice touch throw, and one would hit the back wall and the other dice would barely make it there, and they kept yelling at him. You gotta hit the back wall, we're gonna pass the dice. So the next time that he grabbed the dice, he goes, okay. He threw them and hit the back wall of the casino, right? And he goes, I hit the back wall, like that. And they were like smart ass, like that. But that's what they said, right? So you can choose I have different throws depending on where I'm standing at the craps table, right? My ideal position is one left or one right of the stick man, okay? So if you look at a craps table, there's that guy with the stick that pulls the dice around. So he's in the center. So if I'm one left of the stick guy, this is the stick guy, I'm taking the dice and I'm throwing them that way, okay, to hit that wall. I've actually shortened the amount of distance that I have to go to hit that wall, right? So it's actually a little help there when you don't have to go as far. And I take it nice and easy and I toss it that way. Or if I'm this way, I'll toss it that way. But either way you stand at the table, make sure that you anchor yourself. Anchoring yourself means there's a railing right there. When it's time for you to throw, I like to get down where I put my elbow on the table and I throw from the exact same position because I don't want to change anything. I want it to stay exactly the same. You can anchor by putting your stomach into the table if you're throwing directly. But however you do it, stay in the same position. And why I say that is because you're trying to find a repetitive, relaxed, easy roll. When the PGA Tour comes into town in Vegas, there's one tournament that's played every November, and all these PGA professionals show up. I love going to the casinos then, because when the golfers go play, they're amazing. Because think about it. What is their livelihood? Their livelihood is to reproduce the same swing so that they're consistent, so they can place in a tournament to bring money home, to put food on the table for their family, right? And so these guys have a pre-shot routine. They get up, they waggle that club, they see what's going on, and then they go, right? Same thing, when they're at the craps table, those guys are like kind of touching the dice, pre-shot routine, go. And I've seen some amazing throws from golfers, as well as NFL quarterbacks. I've seen them with some amazing throws too, because you have to have touch as an NFL QB too. It's not all about the fastball. You gotta have that little nice loft or whatever. But throwing the dice, again, it's intimidating if you haven't done it before, because everyone's watching you, and you have to, if you are that type of person who feels like nervous because you're under pressure, pass the dice. Give someone else the shot. Because those nerves will translate into a 7. It's sort of how pets can sense fear. That table can sense nerves. And that translates into, the worst thing to possibly do is throw the dice, and then the second roll is the 7, and everyone loses their money, like in 2 rolls. And that happens a lot on cold tables, even people that are really good throwers. Like I consider myself a good dice thrower, but I've 0.7 as well. They call that the honeymoon. That's the phrase that you said, the honey, it's really quick, it's done, right? What I do is sometimes I wait. I wait to see if someone can throw the dice 5 or 6 times, okay? Because that eliminates all the 0.7s, the ones that quickly throw the 7 and everyone's out. So you can sit there and just say, all right, let's see if you can just get any rhythm going, right? So you don't have to bet on every single person. You don't have to throw when the dice come to you. But having that little plan of like, I'm gonna see if this guy can make it past 5 rolls, right? If he can make it past 5, there's a good chance he's gonna have a decent roll. If he can roll 10, 15 minutes, you can make some money off of this person, for sure. So when they hand you the dice, they hand you usually 6 dice if you're gonna throw, and you select 2. The way I select is I take all the dice, kind of shake them up a little bit, and I drop them on the table. I find the dice that are a pair. So if there's a pair of 3s, I play with those. If there's no pair, I shake them up and go again. And this is just my routine. It doesn't really mean one thing or another. And let's say I go with 3s. So then I would set the 3s up on top, and then I would throw from that orientation. But you have to sample. All of you have to independently try what throw works for you. Your throw may be a very low throw, where it just stays on the table and rolls and hits the wall, comes back. You may be more comfortable with a lofting throw. I like the lofting throw, where you kind of throw it and it goes up and comes down, sort of like a basketball free throw. I like that, a little bit of air underneath it. Unfortunately, a lot of casinos have come up with this new thing where they say, keep it eye level. They get mad if it's too high. My old throw used to go, I'm gonna say like about 10 feet in the air. My old throw. I would stand at the very end, Billy here, my friend Billy would be at the other end right there, and here's the stick guy in the center. And I take them, and I set them, and I go like that. And I have a follow through. Like that's the thing, don't be jerky, like be smooth. And on the follow, these dice would go super high, so high that the person on the other side would do this. Because it's coming right at them, right? But I had the wherewithal to know, to have a touch that it would literally hit the table, the back wall, and bounce softly every time. But that roll got kind of pushed out because the casinos realized, for some reason, the higher of an arc you have, the longer you can throw. It's really weird. So they started saying, no, eye level only. So then I asked, well, why? I said, well, because if you throw super high, everyone's eyes are on the dice. People could be doing funny business like putting extra bets on or stealing chips or whatever. I'm like, no, I think it's for some other reason, actually, And if you get really, really good and you're a regular, then they do what's called, they send a cooler to your table. A cooler is an individual who is so unlucky that, and you're thinking, yeah, I saw there was a movie called The Cooler. That can't be real in real life. No, it's real. It's definitely real. And Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. I was playing there, and the table started getting hot. And this guy squeezes into the full table, and he goes, "Dollar crap!" He throws one single dollar chip in the air, and he throws it right when the shooter's shooting. I watch the dice sail through the air and collide with his chip. The dice fall, land on 7. Everyone loses everything there, and the guy turns and walks away. He only made that one bet. And I was like, you mother, I can't even believe you did. All right, hour and a half goes by, the table gets hot again. Same dude. This time he doesn't stop at the table. Here's the table. He does a drive-by or walk-by. He goes, "Dollar crap!" And the minute he threw it out there, boom, 7 out again. And that's when I yelled, "You come back, I'm gonna kick you in the head!" That's a cooler. The Vegas coolers are different. There's a casino that doesn't like when I'm there, and their cooler that they send is the lurker. The lurker is the person, so if I'm shooting, the lurker is the person that's sent to stand right on my back shoulder. There's nothing more annoying than a human being in your personal space. I'm talking 4 to 6 inches from my body, is another human being just standing there, right off of me. And I'll look at them like, excuse me, you know, but that, again, it's an intimidation factor, and it's to mess your mojo up, because that's how the longest rolls happen when you get into a rhythm, right? It's a rhythm, and what's happening is you're in sync, everything's happening great, and then this person comes up, right? Which is not good. You don't want that. So let's go over here and look.
Yeah, which one is
Red Rock, actually. Red Rock, you know, is not a fan of me over there. And I went to Macau. Macau is the only legal place in China to gamble, and it's the old Portuguese colony, an island off of China. And I don't know what it is. It's like the movie Cocoon. I felt like being amongst my home people, I had more energy or something. Like my throwing was incredible. I was calling things. I would call the numbers in the air before they landed. And I was like, I think it's time for 11. And I boom, and lands 11. And then I look at the pit boss, and he's looking at me like, what the? And I got cocky. I did. I shouldn't have done this. But I looked at him, and I go, it's magic. He walks over, and he goes, good call. 5 seconds later, 3 security guards. One here, one here, one here. And they all stood behind me like that. And I would look at him, and I said hello in Chinese to each one of them. And I was like, good day, good day. And they didn't even answer. They just looked at me. And I said, I'll take my chips now. I was like, to leave. So everyone come over here to this side. Here is the craps table. Okay, so this is smaller than what a regular craps table is, of course. So what I'm going to ask is, for those of you that are in front, maybe we should have chairs so you guys can sit down and the other back row can see above you. So maybe pull up a chair, guys, if we can. Let's do that. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my chair here.
Yeah, these are a little bit bigger.